somehow like universally accepted that Transit is the worst map ever. It's like, according to who? That one first video that somebody made about how Transit's the worst map ever, and then somehow we all accepted it was the worst map ever? So let's get a few things straight. Transit is not the worst map ever. I can actually think of a few other maps that are the worst map ever. Transit was a missed opportunity. Transit was a goofy map. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm a content creator myself, and the more sensationalist we are, the more clickbaity we get, the more views we get. I just watched a Smith Plays video about Transit, and the way he describes the map, you would think it somehow infects you with the disease if you played the map. For one, if it's so horrible, don't play it. But for two, somehow Transit became the redheaded stepchild of the COD Zombies community. We brought this up on TikTok the other day, and is it the absolute best map of all time? Is it on best map lists? No. But is it like really truly the worst map of all time? Like, there is clunky mechanics. It is held back by the game engine and movement system on Black Ops 2. There are things about the map itself that are held back by the Black Ops 2 game engine. I think there are massive aspirations for the map itself to be able to have multiple different points of interest connected by a transportation system. Now, this map is absolutely ripe for a remake. Should they do that? Yes, because I think there's so much opportunity for a remake. But god damn, I mean, you hear people talk about this map and you would think it's somehow the second coming of the devil. It's just not that bad. And if it is that bad, then don't fucking play it. Like, right? Okay, so let's talk about this. I played zombies for the most part overseas. So that means I was in third world countries. My internet was not that good. I scraped by just enough to be able to play the maps online and to be able to partner up with people to be able to do the Easter eggs. But I didn't really have the opportunity to stream. I wasn't watching YouTube. I didn't hear what people had to say about the maps themselves and the whole dynamic of the presentation of the map and how the map looked and all of these different factors that people were talking about on YouTube. And so the oddest thing to me was to come back from overseas in 2016 and 2017 and hear some of these maps that I didn't genuinely think were that horrible. Hear that how low they were viewed on the totem pole, or the fact that it was somehow like universally accepted that Transit is the worst map ever. It's like, according to who? That one first video that somebody made about how Transit's the worst map ever, and then somehow we all accepted it was the worst map ever? Like, fuck that, man. I think we as a community fell into the trap of letting one or two people determine that this is the worst map ever. It's like a silly zombies map. There's so much lacking. It's not as bad as something like a Die Rise, where it is just, in terms of setup, format, layout, Easter egg, it's a mess. It's still a goofy map that I love to play, but I think Die Rise is far worse than something like Transit. From here on out, let's view Transit as a missed opportunity. Transit isn't the worst map ever, and I would bet that you had fun playing with friends. I bet if you're an Easter egg hunter and you enjoyed it doing it with the squad, I would bet that there are silly things about this map that you remember, but I wouldn't say that before somebody started saying on YouTube that that's the worst map ever, I would say that thought never entered your mind, because it never entered my mind. I was doing these Easter eggs overseas without the input of content creators. It's kind of silly to think about. We let the voice of one or two people drown out the voice of the masses. We let one or two people saying this is the worst map ever determine for all of us that it's the worst map of all times. There are so many things to like about this map. There's so many things to enjoy. There's so many classic elements of it. I mean, Ted, the Avogadro, having two different sides to the Easter egg, having some of these funny Victus lines, having the potential for something like a bus route B, the things that we really did enjoy about the map itself. For the denizens in the lava and the fog that you say hold this map back, I can throw something right back at you that I'm either nostalgic about or I think balances out some of the negative qualities of it. So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. Is Transit the worst map of all time? If you think it is, then that's fine, but I want to hear you defend it. So you say, yes, it is the worst map ever. You tell me why. If you don't think Transit is the worst map ever, what is the worst map of all time? As always, guys, if you're interested in this and future COD Zombies content, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Have a good day, guys.